Yo, I ain't gonna cap, bro. I seen a lot of heads go on podcasts, especially the Joe Rogan podcast. But I didn't think someone would end up committing such a heinous act in the recent future of going on their episode. So, Sonny B2, let me know what's going on here in this podcast space. Alright, y'all. He went on Joe Rogan, then killed someone 38 days later. Obviously, y'all know Sonny B2. If you want to watch the original video, boy, be down description below to give your
show will down
opinions and conjecture.
Yeah.
Without further ado, Mom.
Let's go.
I don't know why heads just taking lives, but let's see what's up with it.
His voice puts me in a trance.
On the 1st of February 2024, Sheldon Johnson appeared on the Joe Rogan Experience. 38 days later, he was arrested and charged with murder. It was episode 2096, with Joe Rogan, Sheldon Johnson, and another person named Josh Dubin. Josh had been on the podcast 6 different times before, explaining on an earlier episode that he was a lawyer who worked with wrongfully convicted felons.
We're here to get the word out about wrongful convictions.
In 3 out of 6 of Josh's appearances, he'd bring these wrongful convicts to tell their story.
He spent 3 decades in jail for murders that he didn't commit.
So when Josh brought in Sheldon Johnson, it seemed this would be another positive episode, but it quickly became apparent that Sheldon was slightly different.
I figured we'd do something a little bit different. Typically, the person sitting to my right is someone that was wrongfully convicted. Sheldon is guilty.
Sheldon had only just been released from a 25-year prison stint, but Josh had brought him on specifically as an example of someone who'd been given an unfair amount of time, believing Sheldon never deserved his 25 years in prison. Well, you can
I'm about to say what I wait.
Be the judge of that.
Yeah, consider what we about to get into. I think he might have deserved a little bit more. I don't know.
Born 1975, Sheldon Johnson grew up in the Martin Luther King Jr. Towers, aka a poverty-stricken housing project in Harlem, New York City. His entire family tree had been in and out of prisons.
My father was incarcerated. He did about 15 years. I was incarcerated. My grandfather was incarcerated. My great-grandfather was a slave. And my son killed somebody when he was 12 years old.
When he was 12? Oh my God! This is what they be talking about when they say it runs in the family.
Yeah, but
this is what they be.
But it doesn't have to.
No, I know. No, we clearly know that. But like,
this is sad. This is sad.
No.
This is sad.
How do you take a life at 12 years old if you're not in like war times or something? This is ridiculous, bro.
Here's my thing. Well, his son's probably locked up. Because I was about to say his son shouldn't have a son because his son is gonna do something.
Yeah,
you can't say that, but. Look at the way they going.
See, I was going to say, I don't think they're teaching that right from wrong, but yeah, when you're in jail, how you going to see your children to teach them anything? And this is like, yo, I hate to sound like so pompous or like with this John, but it's like legitimately, he's acknowledging that like all the people in his family were going through some John. I'm not counting his great-grandfather that was a slave, bro. Like, bro, come on, man. You couldn't control that. No, I'm not counting that. So I'm talking about all the people that went to jail. You have to realize, bro, I understand that some people get wrongfully convicted. I understand that some people get an unfair amount of time. I totally understand that, bro. I think, bro, the court system is garbage. Like, let's just be honest here. Because most of the time, with most situations, it pretty much does not go the way it probably should go. I'm not gonna lie. But, dog, like, you have to really realize, this is where I be talking about a lot with self-accountability. You do realize, even if you got wrongfully convicted, you still put yourself in a position to even arise at that conflict to happen. You know what I mean? Let's say he did the armed robbery. Let's say you would have armed John, right? You did an armed robbery or whatever. Cool. But your mans was really the one who did all the threatening, actually stole, you was just a lookout bull. Well, guess what? Just because you still wanted to be lookout, you still going to jail, bud. You could have been like, I don't think I want to be like my dad. You could have just, I don't know, this is your fault. And then your son, that's most definitely your fault. Because again, you were supposed to be the bull to be like, okay, my dad made a mistake with his life, which caused my life to go bad, and I went down a bad path. So let me take care of my son. Yeah. So that doesn't happen to him. And you said, hold my beer. Like, bro, what are you talking about? See, that's why I can't hear nothing from these type bulls, bro. You didn't even try. It's obvious.
Okay, let's finish it.
While Sheldon was the only one in his family who had functional hearing.
My mother's deaf, my father's deaf, my sister's deaf, my aunt is deaf. I grew up in a deaf household.
Therefore, his father, a drug dealer, brought Sheldon along to help him translate deals. And by the age of 12, Sheldon had joined the exact same line of work.
I started
selling
drugs.
This is your fault.
God offered me an opportunity to be a lookout, and I would just stand there and...
How? Yo, I swear to God, I must be the prophet. Like, there's no way. How did I call out his joint?
Because it's the obvious. This is
Bruh,
obvious.
like, yo,
this is the obvious.
Your dad is deaf, your mom deaf, your aunt deaf. Okay, granted, you grew up in a deaf household.
Yeah,
I feel bad for you. I
everybody's
feel like, yo, having disabilities that you can't control sucks, bro. And that's why I say those are really strong people because they still going through life, even with the disabilities, and still smiling and still be able to go to John. Mm-hmm. Dog, if your dad sent you as block manager at 12 because he was helping you help him out with drug deals and John, that's terrible. I feel bad. I really wish you had a better upbringing. But then that just leads me back to your son who apparently took a life at 12, to which you knew all the implications of what could happen, especially in this type of life. And guess what you did? Or I'm assuming you did. Nothing. So whose fault is that?
Crazy.
And then, but I don't know why I'm even trying to be charitable with him at all. Again, literally 40 days after 2 months, or a month and a half after this interview, he went and killed somebody. So like, what do we even, like, come on, man.
Eventually, I just slowly moved up the ranks. It turned me into this person that I was never meant to be.
As a result, he began to rack up charges.
Driving without a license, standing on the corner, little small petty drug cases.
And spent most of his teens in the Rikers Island prison. Although it'd be after his release at the age of 21 that things went downhill badly. He'd commit 2 different armed robberies, receiving a sentence of 50 years in prison.
I freaking lie. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. I love Sunny V2's video for 2 reasons. 1, either the video is really hilarious because someone is genuinely freaking stupid, or 2, because the video was really good and getting into it because somebody is really freaking stupid. Oh my God. You went to jail, got out at 21. He said, hold my beer twice, and went back to jail and then got a maximum sentence. You are a failure as a human being. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, bro. Sorry. And if heads be like, oh my God, you get it. Cause I know this other, I need y'all to listen to this, bro. And y'all let me know what y'all think. And I want you to keep in mind, the person that this bull was talking about was EDP, by the way. They said, I believe everyone should be subject to change and they should be given the opportunity to change, basically, no matter like what the John they did, because it's been a while. You know what? I fully agree with you. You should give people the chance to change because they can improve their lives. Not when that person is EDP 445. No. He's a PDF.
Change?
He's a PDF. I don't care. And by the way, for the bull that commented that, yeah, he did that same crime a bunch of times. Actually, he just got exposed for doing it like again the other day. So he's gonna change? He's not. Shut up. Anyway, my main point to bringing that with this is, he got his chance to change. You went to jail once. You were doing all this, John, with your dad. What's his name? Being the, what did they say? The block manager or whatever, John. You was moving up the ranks. You went to jail. You finally got out of jail at 21 years old. 21. When you're a legal adult, you're still young. And you know what you did? Committed more robberies and got another sentence. So no, I don't feel bad for you. And no, I don't believe you're going to change. No, I don't. If you make one huge mistake, and you change after that, sure. You make a bunch of little mistakes, we're all human, sure. But when you do 2 stupid, big behind mistakes, I think you're a lost cause. You're done for. Like, dude, come on, man. You didn't learn anything.
Which Josh argued was incredibly unfair, given only one person received minor injuries.
He got hit in the head with the gun right here on the side of his head, and he got 2 stitches, and they gave me 25 years for that case.
Did you hit him in the
head? No.
Regardless, prison is where Sheldon realized he had to turn his life around.
It was at that moment I really said, I have to change my life. I just can't do this.
Beginning a prison journal about hope, change, and reform. In his entry letter to my younger self, it explained just because you're surrounded by violence does not mean that violence is the way to solve your problems. Sheldon, 2 wrongs do not make a right. Violence only begets violence. Learn how to respond and not react. In a different entry, he'd state, as we know, I'm currently in prison, which I've learned does one of 2 significant things to its occupants. Brings the best out of them or the worst.
I saw individuals who were at their worst, and I saw guys who were at their best. The guys who were at their best were guys who were involved in education, post-secondary education programs.
Realizing the role model prisoners were those with an education, Sheldon spent years educating himself.
I got into school, I got my GED, and then I went on to obtain my bachelor's in behavioral science from Mercy. I stopped smoking weed.
Dude, it sounds so good. It really does. It sounds so good. Like, you went in there, you got your GED, you got a bachelor's, man. It sounds like you stopped smoking. What happened?
He could have did all that outside those walls.
Exactly, too. But let's not even acknowledge this fact. Let's just acknowledge the fact, like, in jail, he's realizing he's wrong.
Okay.
I want to see,
book,
and
article.
obviously, oh, my bad, I didn't want to cut you out.
No, I said wrote the book or the article or whatever it was, which was really good.
Yes, that's really good. He acknowledges his faults. You know, obviously, like all the John that says, stop smoking. He got his GED. He eventually got a bachelor's. That's phenomenal. It's great, bro. And now I just want to see where it all really went wrong to where he got on this episode and killed somebody. Like, bro, come on. Like, what? I don't understand. Like, I don't know.
Weed. I stopped smoking cigarettes. I started working in the law library. I discovered that I had a knack for complicated things, case law, and I was actually helping guys get out of prison.
He'd further add to his journal, I have grown dramatically in these 14 years, when I could have easily withered away. I've learned that I love Shakespeare, that I love acting, that I love writing, that I enjoy reading philosophy, that I love reading criminal law, that I love writing legalese. Sheldon had changed his life to such an extent, BuzzFeed advocated for his release back in 2016. He became a model inmate, said David Roth, the prison social worker. His days were so full that he went to bed exhausted and fell asleep immediately. As a result of his good behaviour, Sheldon was released after 25 years of his 50-year sentence, appearing on a podcast called Success After Lockdown, on which he'd implied that he'd never go back to prison.
I'm reflecting, I'm saying to myself like, yo, I can't spend the next 50 years like this.
When he'd appear on Joe Rogan 1 month later,
and I agree with you. You can't spend your next 50 years like this. But why did you put yourself in a position to do so? And I get it. Like, yo, when you really sit there and have the time to reflect on John, you will realize your actions are wrong. But then you could also acknowledge your actions are wrong before you even commit them. You realize all actions have consequences no matter how big or small, correct? I don't know. I can't, like... What do I know? I don't got no motion. What do I know?
Sheldon again implied that he wouldn't go back to jail.
Individuals who have been shown to acquire associate's degrees and bachelor's degrees are like 92% less likely to return back to prison.
With Josh using Sheldon as an example, that change was always possible.
How do you make change happen? He's living it and making it happen. Look at this beautiful mind and how he articulates himself.
He began working for the Queen's Defenders, helping troubled youth.
I'm trying to catch these kids before they fall, and I want to show them the way.
And even began to consider more formal education.
Sheldon asked me, should I go to law school before we came here?
In the process, expressing his disbelief that he'd turned his life around.
I just came from the bowels of hell. 25 years in prison, and now I'm in the sky above the clouds in the heavens, headed to a destination to talk about change and to talk about all of the things that brought me to this place today.
Joe Rogan even posted a clip titled, Sentenced to 50 years, Sheldon Johnson decided to turn his life around. However, Sheldon would make one final important claim.
But this is how fast your life can change from just one simple mistake.
Here you go.
Yo, Sheldon. Here
you go.
Sheldon.
Here you go.
Your story is so good. Let me tell you, bro. Your story is really good, dog. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm actually genuinely proud of those actions that you had accomplished, bro. You wanted to go to law school. You wanted to keep youth from falling into the situation that you did. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But why? One simple mistake?
About to tell us why. About to see how this happened.
This is, you know what's crazy? It's so funny that he says that because it's so ironic, the one simple mistake, yet what I'm seeing is now you made three major mistakes. You went to jail initially for being a kid, doing a joint with your dad. You went to jail again as an adult at 21, and now you went back, I'm assuming you went back to jail for what we're about to get into.
3 times you're done. 3 times you're out.
What do you mean? You sat 50 years and you reflected? No, you didn't. You couldn't have. You would not put yourself in a position to go back to jail again.
Yeah. You're teaching kids not to do this.
Exactly.
How did you get in this?
Again. For the 3rd time, by the way.
All right, let's hear this part.
This jump about to piss me off. I already know it's about to get me really infuriated.
Became reality only 38 days later.
He claimed that he had turned his life around after spending most of his adult life in prison. In fact, last year, he started working for the Queen's Public Defender's Office. Well, now he is...
Did you read this? Arrest after torso found in the Bronx. Bro, what, we a serial killer? Oh,
accused
never.
of killing
There's no
a man
way.
and then
you're lying, bro.
dismembering his body.
Sheldon was child...
Go back again. Let's say that again.
No. Come on.
Last year, he started working for the Queen's Public Defender's Office. Well, now he is accused of killing a man and then dismembering his body.
Sheldon
Accused. Let's see. Accused.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
There's no shot. You saying accused? Man, he guilty. He guilty. He guilty. We can't even run defense no more.
was childhood friends with a man named Colin Small, with whom he'd also
Ain't
spent
no way
over
he
10
killed-
years in prison. Therefore, upon Sheldon's release, Small was helping Johnson get back on his
he
feet.
didn't kill his best
However,
man.
at
He
some
couldn't have
point,
killed his
their
best
friendship
man.
took a turn.
Listen
On the
to-
6th of March 2024, police received a call from a tenant who lived in New York, claiming to have heard 2 gunshots from Colin Small's apartment, as well as a voice begging, "Please don't, I have a family." Police drove over to the flat and knocked on the door, only to find Sheldon Johnson inside, who claimed that Colin Small had apparently gone upstate. Well, police searched the apartment and found half of Colin Small's body, finding the other half back at Sheldon's apartment, in addition to concrete and a Tyvek suit. CCTV outside Colin's apartment showed Sheldon Johnson entering and exiting, trying to conceal his identity with a range of different disguises. In one of
Yo.
these stills,
Yeah, sorry. Hold on. He got on the wig. You piece of that.
trying to
Yeah,
conceal
a blonde one. A blonde one at that. He should have had on a black wig or a brown wig. A blonde one?
Nah, I'm done, bro. You go ahead and take that one. Yo, that's crazy, bro. I'm not gonna hold you, bro.
What he gonna say was in that bag?
I'm gonna let y'all over this. Oh yeah, nah.
What's he gonna say was in that bag?
I don't know.
Laundry?
Yeah.
But they found the other part at his apartment.
Why does it smell like that? Ah, man, my joint's just dirty, man. Like, this, you know what's even worse? Like, bro, you had 2 spots, 2 residences where you could be incriminated, not just one, because half the bodies here and half the bodies at your other house. Like, Sheldon, you are definitively retarded. Like, I'm gonna keep it a whole stack with you.
his identity with a range of different disguises. In one of these stills, he's seen wearing the exact same jacket as he was in a photo he
he's a
took for the
genius.
Queen's Defenders. Sheldon was therefore arrested and charged with Colin's murder, screaming "I'm innocent" as he was placed into the cop car. Sheldon maintained this innocence all the way to court.
Yesterday, Sheldon Johnson pleaded not guilty to the charges. He had quite a few supporters inside the courtroom.
As the comments on his episode changed overnight. Imagine being locked up for being wronged by the system for over 25 years, only to prove that the system was right.
Yeah.
Amazing. The judge who gave him 50 years must feel pretty smart right now.
Genius.
I really believed I was gonna die in prison. Well, you're not wrong, buddy. Sheldon's own father stated, "I'm surprised my son was arrested. I was shocked. He learned and studied in prison for 26 years. He is a good man. He was doing work in a law office. There were no
He's a good man, and you weren't a good man. I'm gonna tell you right now, Pops. You was not a good man, bro.
And what the son got to
It
say?
is, matter of fact, the reason that his retard self went to jail 3 different times on major occasions was because of your retard self. So I ain't gonna lie, he was a good man and you were a bad man. I ain't gonna hold you. So that's really tough, bro. Pops, start doing better, bro. Please start doing better, bro. Just please. But what you saying, I mean, cut you off.
Yeah, so what his son got to say?
Nothing. He has nothing to say. He's a hypocrite. Nothing that comes out of his mouth will ever be believed
No, I'm
again.
talking about Sheldon's son.
Oh, his son got nothing. He's probably hate his dad. I would hate my dad too. My dad's a loser. My dad would never represent me, bro. What are you talking about? This fool went to jail 3 different times, and then he had the nerve to go on his podcast, especially with this bull talking about had 25 years in there. I rebuilt my life. I want to go help the youth so they don't end up in my situation and then go commit a murder, bro. What?
He said he's innocent.
He's
We
not
need to
innocent.
see what's going on right now, because shouldn't he be in court? He innocent.
No. What is even the point of running a trial for this? Like, no, bro. You got 50 initially. We let you all 25 on good time, and bro, 25 good time is
Now
ridiculous,
you going
bro.
to life.
Now you going in for the rest of your John, bro. We should have never let you leave. I'm not gonna lie. Now, granted, no one could have predicted
That's
that he was
scary.
gonna do this because
Right.
it seems so not likely that this is gonna happen.
Right.
But
And,
dog,
yeah, that's scary. Anyway.
humanity will always be a disappointment to me. Sorry, y'all.
problems, but I doubt nobody was as shocked as Josh Dubin. He ended Sheldon Johnson's episode stating,
I'm very thoughtful in who I bring on. I think this was one of the best ones yet.
But is still yet to talk publicly since Sheldon's new allegations. Joe, on the other hand, talked about it recently.
He was guilty before, and we knew he was guilty, but he got 50 years.
Right.
And then he was talking about he turned his life around this, like, a month after he was on the podcast. Cut some dude's head off. The homie didn't understand new HD security cameras.
Theorizing that prison had only made him worse.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Was that because he spent 25 fucking years in jail, which is an insane amount of time to be locked up in a prison and then expect to acclimate.
Yeah, I actually, Joe Rogan brought up a good point because I didn't even think about that because, you're in jail and you don't even, like, technologies and John is going to go past you and all that. Mm-hmm. So, he really didn't realize, CCTV, like, most CCTV is still buns, but, they obviously technology is getting better. So, and you could clearly tell with his CCTV, bro, you could clearly see that it was not only him, but, his boo-boo butt cheek behind freaking disguises he had, bro, because I don't know who he was hiding from.
And then studying all that law stuff and doing all that law, I guess he thought it was helping him know what to do, how to hide stuff, how to do it right. Ain't help.
I'm like, you know what to do with the book. Clearly, you don't know how to hide a body, though. I don't know what he thought.
Keep one half in one house and one half in the other. Like
who buddy thought he was? Dexter? Like, bro. Yo, buddy thought he was Dexter. No. Yeah, y'all, if you had to learn something from this, if you say you're going to change your life and you made a bad decision and you made a mistake, really learn from it. Like, actually learn from it. And I mean that. Like, if you say you're going to make a change, commit to that change, bro. Mm-hmm. Let's not lie and let's not virtue signal, bro. Let's not do that.
Do it.
Come on, man. It's bad enough. But seriously, though, y'all know what it is. He went on Joe Rogan podcast and killed someone 38 days later. Of course, Sonny B2, if you want to watch the original video, that boy be down switching bell to give your own opinions and conjecture. No cap. I ain't gonna lie, but we had to answer. Go ahead and what? Like this vid. Subscribe. You already know you better be subscribed. Gangsta. I ain't gonna lie. Turn on post notification buttons every time. Mom, sure. Post a new video. That boy be fresh up on your feed, gangy. On your feed. Mm-hmm. And I ain't gonna lie. Better watch the whole thing. Yes. Had to. No cap. But seriously, we gonna catch y'all later to catch the next bozo. Peace.